The sit-in movement that started here in Oklahoma City had a tremendous effect on my life. From the first time my dad and mom made me aware of what was going on, and always to respect and accept people for who they were, no matter what their differences may be. Ponca City, Oklahoma is where I was born. And both of my parents are Holocaust survivors. My mom lost her mother, her father, all of her brothers and sisters except for one. My dad lost his parents and all of his brothers and sisters except one. Their grandparents, lots of the aunts and uncles and cousins were killed during the Holocaust. And my dad and mom immigrated here to the United States of America in 1950. When I was 7 years old, my dad was watching television one night, and the next day he read the newspaper. And the first day he had off from work was that Saturday, which happened to be August 23rd, 1958. And he and my mom came to me early in the morning and said, "Come and take a ride with us." So I went out and got in the car with my mom and dad, and they drove me to a park in Ponca City. And they parked the car. We got out of the car, and he walked me into the park, and we walked up to a water fountain, and he asked me to take a drink out of it. And I took a drink out of it, 7-year-old boy, hot August day, and he said, "How did the water taste?" And I said, "Great." And he asked me to read the sign to him on the water fountain, and I read it to him, and it said, "Whites only." He then walked me over to a water fountain not 10 feet away, and he asked me to take a drink out of it, and I did. And he said, "How did that taste?" And I said, "The same as the water I just drank out of over there." And he asked me to read the sign on the water fountain to him, and I read it to him, and it said, "Coloreds only." We walked back to the car without saying a word, got in the car, and my mom and my dad and I drove down to the bus station, parked the car, and got out and walked inside. And my dad walked me over to this area where there were these nice chairs and ceiling fans on this hot August day, and walked me up to this podium that had a sign on it, and we read it, and it said, "White waiting area." Then he took me to the back of the bus station where there was a sign that said "Colored waiting area." This dinky area, no ceiling fans. My dad looked at me, his 7-year-old son, and he said, "I want you to always remember what we've shown you here today, because that's the reason that you don't have grandparents and lots of aunts and uncles and cousins."